face. Sir! You got a war face? Ah! That's a war face. Now let me see your war face. Ah! Oh, shit. You didn't convince me. Let me see your real war face. Ah! You don't scare me. Work on it.
You know, growing up is not an easy process. It really isn't. I'm almost 29 years old, and I already know how rough it is to be an adult. Okay, if you're a kid or a teen, I encourage you to enjoy your time right now, because once you get older, you have to face this horrible, horrible thing that we call responsibilities. It is not fun having to be responsible for every gosh dang thing that goes on in your life. But it's all part of being independent. The great thing about being an adult, though, is you end up realizing things you didn't notice when you were younger. For example, how many of you remember that old song, I Want Candy? Well, now as an adult, when I think of that song, I think, I want cavities. And heck, I'll even go to the extreme. I'll be like, I want diabetes. Now, see, when you grow up, you no longer want candy. You want something far more sweeter. So instead of singing, I want candy, adults are saying, I want days off. Or if you're a horny young male, you might be singing, I want porno. That's legit how it is. As you grow up, things are no longer the same as they were when you were a kid. For example, who remembers that one episode of Tom and Jerry where Tom was not able to score the girl he worked so hard to win over and just sat there on the train tracks? Mr. David Max Rage remembers. I found out as an adult that scene or that episode was the most depressing episode in the history of Tom and Jerry. Reason why is because what we don't see as kids is that Tom has basically become depressed and suicidal. So he legit sits on the tracks waiting for the train to kill him. And the same thing happens to little Jerry. Jerry fails to impress his woman, or the woman he wanted, so they both sit together on the train tracks, and just before the episode ends, you hear a train coming. Now, as a kid, you wouldn't catch that. You think, oh, that's nothing. But as an adult, you think, oh my gosh, this train is going to kill them. They're committing suicide right here on a children's show. Man, being an adult sure is scary at times when you realize that type of stuff. Heck, I'll even go even further and bring up Lion King. We all remember the Lion King, right? Well, I hate to ruin your childhood. In fact, if you're a child or a teenager, I ask that you please leave the room, because what I'm about to say will shock you. You see, in Lion King, we all remember that classic, iconic love scene between Simba and Nala. Now, there is a good possibility that Simba and Nala are related. Because think about it for a second. Really think about it. Mufasa and Scar are brothers. They are the only adult male lions in the pride. So, if that's the case, there is a good chance that Simba and Nala are potential cousins. Sweet home Alabama. That's right. These two are smashing relatives. Now, of course, in the natural habitat of lions, this is natural. But for kids, this is not for kids, because the last thing they need to hear is that two people who are related to each other are smashing and reproducing. Now, in the human kingdom, we all know that's a thing called incest, but I'm not about to get into that. Anyway, back to the conversation. So yeah, you realize things that you didn't notice before. For example, in the Looney Tunes, there are episodes where the number 666 appears. One of them appears in an episode where a tired man walks to his room and Daffy is constantly making noise and waking him up. Just before going into the room, the number 666 appears. Now, as a kid, I didn't catch it, nor did I care. But now, as an adult, I'm thinking, what the heck is that number doing there? Are they trying to say something? Is Satan in this show? Is this a satanic show? Has Looney Tunes been lying to me? This is not an innocent cartoon? Nani? You start to notice stuff. You really start to notice stuff. One last thing I want to touch on is that as an adult, you come to the realization that the meat that everyone is eating in the Pokemon world is in fact Pokemon. Because all the animals have been replaced with Pokemon. There's no regular animal in sight. So when you see people eating meat, what do you think they're eating? They're not eating regular animals. They're eating Pokemon. That's right. I just shattered your childhood right there. The meat they are eating is not from regular animals. The meat they are eating is from Pokemon. They are eating Pokemon. Now, my question is, how does it taste? Do I need to add barbecue sauce to mine? If I get a Pokemon, could I get it as a pet or could I get it as dinner? I don't know. Take me to the nearest supermarket. I'm sorry, I just had to. But yeah, being an adult can suck sometimes because you have to get used to getting up early in the morning to go to work, depending on where you work, of course. Now, I have to be available any day of any time of the week so that I could get a good paycheck every week. Okay, I get paid once a week. And I need as much money as I can to pay the bills, pay the car insurance, pay for maintenance, gas, etc., boring stuff. You know what I mean. So yeah, that's pretty much the cherry on top. You work your ass off for money that you don't even get to use for your own entertainment. Most of that money goes to stuff that you gotta pay for. And if you live independently, you know a lot of that money is gonna go towards your house or apartment, your water bill, your electric bill, your gas bill. I feel exhausted just saying all that. So yeah, adulthood, folks. But it's not too bad. It's not all bad. One of the, joys of being an adult is, when you eventually find that special someone, y'all get to smash. Now, whether you do it in marriage or outside of marriage is between you and God. Okay, it's none of my business. So, yeah, and you could even make your own family if you wanted to by smashing. But if I may make one suggestion, if you are not financially ready to raise a family, you either have to use protection or you keep your legs closed. Okay? Because seriously, I am sick and tired of men coming out here and having sex with women and then abandoning them with children they don't have the balls to raise. If you ain't gonna raise the child, don't have the child. Freaking, I understand you're young and horny, but keep your legs closed if you're not gonna take care of your child. I didn't mean to get dark there. I'm just touching on a sensitive subject right there. I am sorry. But yeah, adulthood. And heck, if you get in trouble with the woman you had sex with and you're not taking care of the child, you're going to have to pay extra money for child support. That's one more bill that you added to your life. Okay, that's your fault. Cuz you brought the child into the world. Cuz you couldn't wait till marriage or you couldn't keep your legs closed. You just have to think with your penis. That's legit what you did. You thought with your penis. Your brain is in your testicles. I think I'm going to get off that subject before I go too deep. Also giggity. But yeah, adulthood. A wacky, strange, scary, and expensive part of life. I'm not saying to hate it. You don't have to hate it because you still have the freedom to do whatever you want and be your own person and your own boss, etc. But remember that it comes with responsibility and that you have to do whatever it takes to take care of yourself, your family if you have one, and the stuff that you have. That's all there is. Okay? You have to balance the two. Fun and responsibility.